crying to your mama?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is Kefla. So since she was just released for early access on the PlayStation Store for Season Pass 3 holders for Dragonball FighterZ, I decided to download her and take a look at her. So I played through arcade mode with her, just so I can, mess around with the character and try to figure out some stuff. I like to do this with characters first before I take them into training mode, just so I can see what I can figure out or how easy they are to use for newcomers, just so I can give a better perspective for everybody instead of just, veteran players or people that are really good at the game. I'd say her user friendliness is pretty good. It's pretty easy to do most of her combos. The only problem I have with her is it seems like she's lacking in the health department. I had her on a team with Blue Vegito and Blue Gogeta, and she went down most of the time much quicker than those two. And I am more versed with those two characters, but it just seemed like her health was going down really low, even with defense. I don't know if that was the difficulty level spiking in arcade mode, or if the character just has less of a threshold than certain other fusion characters. But that was just a little thing that I noticed throughout the matches. You'll see my gameplay in the background so you can see what I'm saying. I am going to be putting in my total gameplay minus the loading and stuff like that, so you get to see the losses that I face with her as well, because I did lose a few times in arcade mode with her. And overall, I like the way the character plays. She's very quick, which is to be expected from a fusion character. And the one move that I was concerned about, where she throws the energy balls around and they kind of hone in on the enemy or go around the area, it actually ended up being a lot more effective than I initially thought it would be. Her rush is a little bit, it seems slower, but it could be just because of the range at which she uses it. It seems like it's a shorter burst than some of the other characters who have maybe a longer burst, but her hand-to-hand combos are really good, especially when you're up close with her. I would say that this is a close to mid-tier character. She does have some far-range capabilities, but I think your best bet of getting in and getting your hands dirty is going to be close range, in my opinion. That also might be my play style, so you can take that for what it is. I do like the character design and the aesthetics overall. Obviously, it's close to the actual anime, which Dragon Ball FighterZ always usually nails. Archie's is really good with nailing the actual aesthetic feel of a 2D fighting game with a 2.5D. So that's to be expected from this point, but what I guess did catch me off guard is the fluidity of the character, and the motion transitions from move to move are really smooth, exceedingly so in fact. I think she's an extremely easy character to pick up, especially for newcomers alike. She has a good mixed range of combos into key blasts and such. Her throw, I think, is a little bit leaves to be desired, but other than that, I think she makes up for in other areas really well. Besides that, obviously, her health. Her interactions are also pretty fun, too. She was having plenty of interactions with both Gogeta and Vegito Blue. I didn't have much of an opportunity to test her with other characters, but between those two, a lot of the sayings were pretty fun. Mostly talking about which fusion was stronger, and if they should face off in a match, especially against Vegito and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool. I think my favorite thing about the character has to be the mix-ups. I really like the short-range cancels into key blasts, and the way you can... Her jumping is pretty quick, so you can jump over an opponent's head, which I don't usually recommend. It's my play style, but it's really easy to get punished if you do that, which is why I'm probably not the greatest at the game. But when you do avoid that by getting over someone's head and immediately blocking, and then going into a combo and then starting it into a mix-up, it is actually really easy to do with her. I didn't have much trouble playing with her the first time I picked her up, which isn't the case for some of the characters and fighters, because a lot of them take some getting used to. Some of them you think are going to be good, but then it ends up you find their weaknesses later on. So I guess most people that are trying to play with the character can figure that out and lab her and see where her weaknesses are going to lie. I'm going to mess with her a little bit more too in the training modes and see what I can discover. And I'm especially going to be playing with her against some of my friends who are much better at the game than I am, so that I can really pull out her mettle and try to see like what I can get done with the character, especially in certain teams. That's my main concern. Not necessarily how well she plays as a single unit, but I want to see how well she does with support, especially with the new system that they have implemented, where you can choose their attacks that are going in and choose their support types and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a much better option, and she's the first character that's been released since we have this new feature. So it's going to be interesting, the different kinds of mashups that we're going to get and see coming from this. But I have no doubt that people are going to be as creative as humanly possible, as they usually are, and we're going to see some great stuff come out of this. So if I'm going to rate the character out of 10, I'd probably give her a 7.5, 7. Let's just call it a solid 7. She's a good character to use. She's easy for people to start with. If you are skilled, you probably might rate her higher because you'll be able to get more out of the character than I was able to. At least from first glance or from first trying her out. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you get a chance to try her yet? Do you have the early access, or are you waiting until Friday when the character is officially released? Let me know what you think and get back to me. Maybe it'll end up in an upcoming video. And as always, guys, peace.
Too, but I'm made of much tougher stuff. I wish I was as tough as you, Caulifla.
Kefla! Win!